Everyone, it's Kendall here. Let's not ignore the obvious, giving you some I love you, you love me realness, some grape Fanta, wanna Fanta. My hair is purple. I've been feeling very stifled creatively recently, and this is just the thing that I needed. I feel it. I just needed this and a good cup of coffee. Also, I've been being a little bit more out there with my makeup recently because I realized what's stopping me. But you're not here to hear about my hair. You are ready for everyone's favorite story time. And this is our second story of this month's Storytime Sundays, where I upload a new video about a story time every Sunday. If you didn't see last week's video, be sure to check that out. Some people were like, I didn't get a notification. What the hell? So there you go. That video was also about some weirdos that I met, and this video is no different from that. So where do I start? On a Friday or a Saturday, me and my friends were gonna go out. We were gonna go, shocker, to MB2. For those of you that are new around here, I was quite a regular at MB2 and recently decided that I just can't anymore. It's a mess. That club is a giant cesspool, and I kept going because I didn't hold myself to a better standard. Anyway, but before I figured that out, we were on our way to MB2, and I was looking real cute that day, not gonna lie. I had curly hair, I had it in a half updo, I had my nose ring in, I was glittering, had hella lashes. I was baddie to the bad. I was killing him. I was slaying the children. We were walking to MB2, me and two friends of mine, and before we went to MB2, we were like, let's go to a restaurant nearby, and we were gonna meet up with some friends of friends and stuff. So one of the friends that I came with, I will call her Janet. Janet really wanted to go to this restaurant that she had heard good things about, and I was like, okay, sure, but that meant we had to walk around in the scary AF side streets of Hongdae. If you've never been to Hongdae, this is kind of how it's set up. Well, actually how most streets in Seoul basically are set up. There's usually a main street that is heavily populated that people walk through, and it's cars and light buildings and, you know, a lot of activity. And then there's these really awkward, scary AF side streets, but on either side in these very dark and spooky corridors, that's of course where all of the best restaurants are, because nobody can find them, they're exclusive and all that BS. And these areas tend to be not the most well-lit areas, but you know, Korea is so safe all the time. And we're walking down this downhill to go to into this no man's land, and that's when we hear some man behind us say, hey, hi, to get my friend's attention, to get Janet's attention. So this guy goes up to Janet, and Janet is Korean, and he goes up to her and he's like, hey, how are you? I just was wondering. And he does this with his hands, and he points in my direction, referencing me. Can you tell your friend that I'm very, very interested in her? She's really pretty. She's like a girl that I'd really want to get to know. She's just my type, and yada yada yada. And I'm just like, oh, 이 새끼들 빠졌네. Slaying the children. I told you I was cute that day. But it was kind of weird. It was a very strange exchange, because he was not meeting my eye contact. He was not looking at me. He was looking at my friend and saying, tell your friend that I'm interested in her. Can you please let her know? So I thought this weird three-way conversation was really strange, because I was thinking, okay, you think I don't understand you. What did you think we were gonna do? What we were gonna talk about? Were we gonna sit there and play charades and stuff? But to kind of stop this weird triangle of conversation, I just interrupted him and I was like, yo, 한국말 할 수 있거든요. And it was still weird because he wasn't really talking to me still. And he was like, oh, I'm really interested in her. And I was like, eh? Now this guy wasn't necessarily bad looking. He was pretty tall. He was I'd say he was a solid 6 feet. He was a nice-ish. He wasn't drop dead gorgeous or anything, but he was alright. And he was like, can I get your number? Or kind of can I get her number? It was very, very strange. And before I could answer, my friend was like, no. We all have boyfriends. We're all taken. And at first I was kind of I didn't ask you. Because I was in this whole mode of being a new person and being more adventurous and stuff, and I always complain about guys not being assertive enough, so I was like, this guy is being assertive, I should I should talk to him or whatever. Girl, I'm so happy she did that. I roll along with the thing like, no, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend, I'm sorry, thank you, I'm really flattered, yada yada. And he's like, please, can I just, do you have a Kakao Talk or something? Do you have a number? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And we turn away to leave. We think nothing of it. We're like, oh, that's, you know, you cute today, Kendall. Pat on my back. Took a long time getting ready that night, so I was like, it was worth it. Anyway, so we're walking and we hear him behind us again, calling out to us. He stops us again. He's like, I'm so sorry. Do you have a Kakao Talk or something? And I was like, okay, that's not the issue. Like, I have a boyfriend. What is your deal? We start walking really fast at this point. I was Naomi Campbell in that thing. I was horse trotting. I was like, okay, that was kind of weird. So Janet is like, whoa, that was like really weird. You giving these boys heart attacks, Kendall. And I'm like, I don't try to. Like, not gonna lie, I was feeling myself a little bit. I was like, I'm really cute tonight. So stupid. And so we're still looking for this restaurant, and then I look to my side and I see him. It was the most terrifying sight in my life. Picture this, if you would. We were in a pretty dark alleyway, and it's like on a hill, and he's slowly descending down the hill on a very like predator, tiger versus injured deer, antelope, stalker type tip. I should have known something was weird, that he was a singular man just walking around hitting on girls on a Friday night. I just thought it was weird. Like, where are your friends at? And then when everything started to click that this dude was literally following us everywhere we went, that's when I was like, okay, no, let's get to that main street so there's some witnesses. We're walking, and I don't know how this dude did. You know like in horror movies when like Jason like miraculously pops up next to the soon-to-be victim? This dude was walking so slow, but when I tell you he miraculously ended up to my side, I was bruh, I was about to start scrapping, bruh.
Word of God, if this bitch try to back me up into a motherfucking corner, we gonna be scrapping the fuck up.
I was like, okay, so you trying to get your ass beat. He was like, I'm not 이상해. That was weird. 저는 이상한 사람 아니에요. My friend grabs my hand and starts pulling me forward. She was like, 이상한 사람 같은데요? And he's still following us. At this point, it had gotten so bad that by the time we got to the main street, I was literally cursing him out, which is kind of like pat on the back, because like I've never gotten a chance to like live out my fantasy where I get to curse a dude out in Korean, like actually though, because sometimes like I had opportunities but I missed them for all extenuating circumstances. If you ever saw the Storytime with the Three Musketeers and the dude with his hoverboard, I really wanted to cuss that dude out, but I didn't know what was going on, so I was like, man, if only I had an opportunity to cuss a dude out in Korean and like legitimately get to do it, like my life forever will be changed. So we're at the main street and I'm just going like, yo, I told you I have a boyfriend. What is your problem? It literally got to it's actually kind of funny now, but it was not then. It got to the point that he was screaming at me as I was like my Naomi Campbell, like trotting down the street like, bruh, this dude is crazy. He was screaming out to me. He was like, but what's your number? And I'm like, I got one. And it was actually kind of funny because there was this like set of girls in front of us that was like, so time passes. This like back and forth, leave me alone, cursing. He did not stop. Nothing I did told him to stop in his mind. I straight up said like, you're making me angry and you're scaring me. And then I was cursing at him and he still followed us even after that a solid 7 minutes. The entire like exchange ended up being somewhere between 15 minutes, like 10-15 minutes overall. It felt like time was standing still. It's like no matter what, I was like, wow. I never felt like I was in danger in the sense that I was concerned that I would die. I just knew that I was gonna have to beat some ass, and I just didn't really want to have to do that tonight. I wanted it to be a chill night. But we ended up walking towards the main street, and then all of a sudden I realized that my friends were not next to me, and I was so scared. That scared me more than my own safety, to be honest. My thing was like, I didn't know if he had like a knife or something, or if he was gonna come after my friends, and I was really concerned about their safety. So when I turned around, I saw them. They were face to face to this dude, and Janet is literally like 5 foot tall, and she's like looking at this guy like, like from far away. I couldn't hear them. I'm like walking up. I was like, okay, now it's time to beat some ass. Like, this is how the day is gonna have to go. When I get close, I'm like, if you don't cat, I swear to God, I'm gonna skin you alive. Ka, bruh. No matter what I said, it was the strangest thing, because no matter what I said, he completely ignored. The only person he was listening to was my Korean friend. It was very strange. It's like he was bartering for me. Like, he wasn't talking to me. I felt very, very much so like an object. Like, he was, you know, I don't know if he thought he could get me with some trading cards. Like, here's a Charizard for the black girl. It got to the point that my friend was straight up like, yo, we're about to call the police on you. If you don't leave us alone, you are a legit stalker. You are strange. Leave us alone. Blah, blah, blah. The thing that got me though was because I kind of wanted to beat his ass at that point. At that point, I was just mad. If he don't go now, I have an excuse. So I was kind of not wanting him to go. But he finally got it. Again, the entire time, not looking at me. He was so devastated that my friend officially was like, nah, we're not selling her over. And he eventually walked away into the dark alleyway, never to be seen again. It was legit the strangest progression of events. I guess what this whole story time boils down to is that please don't travel alone. I know Korea overall is a safer place than a lot of places, but like, weirdos exist everywhere. So if you're traveling at night, if you're going clubbing, if you're going anywhere late at night, please be sure to have friends with you. And if you don't have friends with you, please be sure to go to familiar places or be familiar with your area, because there's some weirdos out there, bruh. Funny enough, this whole exchange, I think of it, even when it was happening, it was equally like scary, but also like the most frustrating thing. I think this story in particular is like a perfect example of how I was just completely dehumanized, because nothing I said mattered. Nothing I said about like, no, I'm not interested mattered. Especially in this situation, because like, I'm a foreigner, but there's no language barrier. Like, I understand you, you understand me, you're just ignoring me. And yeah, that was the story. So if you like this story time, don't forget to like this story time. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please be sure to hit that notification button so that you're notified of all of my new uploads. And also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.